This video is about our punch-out list for our brand new home in the Villages, Florida. Unfortunately, it seemed like an endless list in the beginning with a lot of repairs. We'll tell you about the 2 largest home repairs that we needed and then some of the other smaller problems that we turned into the warranty department in just the first 6 months of owning our new home.
If you're new to our channel, I'm David, and this is my wife, Christy. We rented for 2 years before deciding to buy a new home here in what is known as the world's largest active retirement community, the Villages. After closing on our home, we were asked to submit a punch-out list within the first 7 days, focusing on cosmetic flaws and also to include the really important issues that needed to be repaired. There is a 1-year full warranty that covers most items. Everyone told us that the Villages does a great job of following through with repairs, and thankfully, we found this to be true as well. The houses here are built very quickly and are sold really fast, and there's little time for thorough inspections or fixes prior to closing. After the initial list, we turned in other concerns by email to the warranty department as we came across them. We just didn't expect there to be such a long list of items that needed to be fixed.
Before our closing, we did a walkthrough of our house with our Villages sales representative. There are pieces of tape all over indicating that the building supervisor had flagged these things that needed attention. Most of them were very obvious, like a paint spill on the carpet, broken bathroom tiles, and nicks in the countertop. But there's one really big issue we found out about just an hour before our closing that we'll tell you about in a minute.
On closing day, we did our final walkthrough with our building supervisor, and he gave us valuable information on how to operate the various systems like our heat and air conditioning. By the way, there is a phone app you can download so that you can control the settings from a smartphone. We also learned how and when to change filters, how the kitchen appliances worked, where the refrigerator filter was located, and where they stored the paint touch-up kit, which was under the kitchen sink. We also learned about putting bleach down the condensation line once a month so the air conditioning condensation line doesn't get clogged.
He helped us program our garage door opener to our own code and showed us where a hidden outside electrical outlet was near the air conditioner. He also provided information on what contractors to set appointments with to adjust our irrigation system, set up lawn care, and insect remedy services, as well as maintenance for our AC. There's a sticker on the circuit breaker panel that has many useful phone numbers and information.
We found out that the warranty department has an online resource link that will tell you many of the things that are inside your home, from paint colors to cabinet types. With their help, we added a towel bar in the primary bathroom and made sure we were ordering matching model parts. I have also been told that Florida Paint has computer access to the paint colors for each home built by the Villages. I haven't verified that yet, so let us know in the comments below if you know that to be true.
At the end of the walkthrough, the building supervisor told us about the first of 2 major repairs that would need to be fixed in our brand new home. He pointed out that our bathtub in the second bathroom had a large 10-inch crack in it. The entire bathtub would need to be replaced. We highlighted that big surprise in part 8 of our house hunting series that we'll link at the end of this video.
Since it was on the inside wall of the tub, you really couldn't see it unless you were standing inside the bathtub. He reassured us that it would be fixed quickly and that he had already ordered a new bathtub. Over the next few weeks, the bathtub, tile, and faucet all had to be removed. A new bathtub was installed, the tile was reinstalled and grouted, the tub faucet was reinstalled, and the wall areas near the work were fixed and painted. It took at least 6, maybe more, separate appointments from 3 or 4 different subcontractors. Everyone was very professional, on time, and did their work quickly, but that is a lot of scheduling and making sure we were home.
The second big problem we noticed with our new home was that we had water pooling right at the back sliding glass door outside in the lanai. During a rainfall, water was dumping off of our roof onto the concrete pad outside of our lanai door, causing water to run into our lanai under the threshold. There was always a huge puddle of water.
After several appointments with the concrete company, they confirmed that the concrete in the lanai was not graded away from the home properly. This was not an isolated issue. We found out that several homes in our neighborhood were getting concrete replaced on their front porches or lanais. Our first thought was that they should tear it all out and repour it. Over the next few weeks, we discussed it further and thought more about what would make sense. The concrete company said they received approval to tear it all out and repour it, or they could remove the screens, grind down the problem areas, and fill in the low areas. They would then cover it with a colored floor texture similar to what they would use around a pool. The builder or sub would cover the cost of the repair.
At first we thought, let's just completely replace it all. But when they started jackhammering the small concrete pad just outside the lanai door, we realized that this could cause more problems than it would solve. It was extremely loud, very messy, took a long time, and it violently shook the whole house since the concrete pad was part of our foundation. So we decided to go with the grinding route instead, because shaking all the plumbing and wiring in a new house seemed like a very bad idea. It could cause even more problems.
The grinder was really loud and messy too, but it didn't shake the whole house. It took over 10 visits over a few weeks to remove the screening, fill the low areas, grind the high areas on the lanai floor, texture coat the concrete, and then reinstall the lanai screening. Pro tip: if you have this kind of work done, make sure they completely cover any nearby windows with plastic so there isn't any scratchy concrete residue left on them that is hard to remove. To finish up the project, a painter came out to touch up an area on the exterior wall, and the lanai screen installer came back out to touch up the paint on the lanai door. We are very happy with the end results. Rainwater also ran off the front door entrance, and it was staining the concrete, most likely from residue from the roofing shingles. The addition of gutters and downspouts resolved this problem. Adding gutters and downspouts was something we had to pay for ourselves. We hired Stipes and would recommend them for a great price and excellent workmanship. It may take a month or so before they can start because they are booked up, but once they were on the job, they were finished in just a couple hours.
We had a lot of smaller repairs on our punch-out list, and it started to feel like this list would never end. First was that our kitchen cabinet doors were obviously crooked and misaligned. They needed to be adjusted. There also were several areas with nail holes showing through and missing paint. A bathroom cabinet door had damage to the facing and needed to be ordered, which took 12 weeks.
The trim board next to the dishwasher was also obviously cracked, most likely during the installation of the dishwasher, and that would involve ordering a whole new end panel with the electric outlet area cut out and wired in as part of the installation. It was going to take 12 weeks to get the new end panel, so instead, the installer said he could fix the split trim board so that it was like new and do it quickly. We decided to do that for now, and it looks great.
As a customer, you just wish they'd taken more time and care in getting things done right the first time. But they did come out and make the adjustments, and they look great now. Next were the windows. Several seals were not closing properly, and a couple of the screens were warped, possibly because of the hurricane winds from Milton. They were repaired very quickly by the contractor, and like we've said before, they were always professional, polite, and on time.
I also had trouble getting one screen back in the window. We found out from the subcontractor that the actual window itself was smaller than the other. Our house is a precast concrete home with factory-built panels with windows already installed in the walls. They are delivered by specialized flatbed trucks to the construction site and lifted by a crane into place. We were surprised that this issue wasn't detected at the factory. It's basically a defect, and he said to correct it, we could have the window cut out from the concrete wall and replaced, or he could alter the screen slightly to fit. That sounded like a big ordeal, so we settled on the simple screen repair for now. We're going to revisit this issue before our 1-year warranty period is up.
I want to add here that we are sharing just our own personal experience with you so you have real information on what to expect when buying a home in the Villages. Some homes may be built perfectly and may not have one thing to correct. Every home will be different.
The next repair on our list is probably a common one. There was an obvious gap under the front door with daylight showing through, where bugs could get in. The door company came out and quickly made adjustments to the threshold, something that if they just checked could have been fixed at the time the doors were installed.
This next repair was kind of unique. The pocket door to the laundry room was hard to open and close, and it made a scratching noise when it moved. It was also starting to make a black line on the door from whatever it was rubbing against. The subcontractor came out and found that a piece of styrofoam from the door's packing material had been left inside, and it was causing the problem. He repaired it pretty quickly, and he touched up the paint.
Our list was starting to get smaller, but there's a few more to go.
We found several chips in the quartz countertop in both the kitchen and second bathroom. One was found after the new tub was installed. There was missing grout in the bathroom and chipped tiles. They were quickly filled and repaired.
The sodded yard was very uneven in places. The sub said he couldn't do anything about that and assured us it would correct itself in 6 months. 6 months have passed and there are still many uneven areas. He did replace a couple areas that had dead sod. When planting our new landscaping in the yard, I have noticed that there's a lot of debris under the sod, like smashed water bottles, small plastic flags on metal posts, rocks, and leftover pieces of irrigation tubing. When I see an area that is struggling, I'm tempted to dig it up and see what's under it. I don't think this is too unusual with new home construction, but if they cleaned up better, this wouldn't be an issue.
Sounds like David is complaining about the yard.
More work.
Yeah. Regarding the irrigation system, our front tree didn't look too great, so we were wondering if it was getting enough water or if it was just the time of year that we moved in, which was November.
We contacted Mico, and they sent out Miranda to check the system. It was working fine with a drip line running to the tree, although she did adjust some of the heads and clean one of the filters that was caked in mud. I had already changed the settings so the areas would receive more water than what the builder had set. She said that she also helps owners by providing regular maintenance to their systems, including cleaning the filters and installing the concrete donuts that help protect the sprinkler heads from the large motors many lawn surfaces use. I installed the donuts myself with the help of a circle sod cutting tool I purchased at Home Depot. There were around 35 donuts that I had to install.
That's a lot of donuts to buy and install.
It was a lot of donuts, but I just did a few each day. There's also a wand module that I purchased online and installed myself to control the irrigation system from a smartphone app. It has a lot of settings and tracks the weather to help determine when it should run the irrigation program. I had to do a couple modifications to my internet settings as advised by the manufacturer. It works perfectly most of the time, but will occasionally go offline, so not a perfect 10.
We still have a few problems that haven't been resolved. One of our guests told us the water pressure was low when taking a shower in our second bathroom.
I checked it and agreed that it seemed to be lower than the primary bathroom. The 2 shower heads I tried didn't have any obstructions, so that's not the problem. A plumber came out and said it seemed okay to him. I'm now thinking it could be related to the valve that changes the water from the tub to the shower head, or something less obvious. A neighbor said he had an issue and it turned out there was sand in his water line. I'm not sure what to do to somehow qualify that there is a difference. If you have any ideas or know of a device I can attach to determine water pressure, please let us know in the comments below. I still think there's an issue. It will be on our 1-year list if not fixed before.
It was advised to us by other homeowners that before the 1-year warranty period is up, we should have the house professionally inspected with a report submitted to us and the builder. We were told to call for an appointment as soon as we could because the really good inspection companies get booked up fast.
Quality inspection companies are used to working with the builder and understand what the builder wants to see in the report so issues can be resolved quickly. They also know what to look for. I was told that one of the more expensive things to fix, that is easy to miss, is cracked roof trusses. You may not know it's a problem until you go to sell the home, and during the inspection process, it turns up and needs to be fixed long after your warranty has expired. The company we have selected, because of their great recommendations on Nextdoor and YouTube, is called D'Angelo Inspections. A small house like ours costs around $500 for an inspection, but we feel it will be well worth it. We'll do a video on that in November.
In general, most of the appointments we made for repairs were scheduled in blocks of time rather than an exact time. In other words, subcontractors would be there between 8 and noon and 4, and somewhere at any time on a given day. We would normally receive confirmation from the warranty department about a repair on our list, and they would either tell us who would be calling to set an appointment or who we should call to set the appointment. Most subs would reach out to us within just a day or two, and once again, every single contractor that worked on our house was very professional, polite, and showed up when they were supposed to. We eventually realized that many of the other smaller problems could be fixed in less than 15 minutes. So we started scheduling several appointments for the same morning, saving us time and inconvenience.
We definitely were surprised by how many issues were on our punch-out list that needed to get fixed in a brand new home. The list seemed endless at the beginning. The villages are very good at construction efficiency and seem to have mastered the art of fast home building, but there are consequences of doing it this way. All in all, the warranty department and the subs were all very responsive and things, for the most part, were fixed quickly. So we have no complaints there, but we were disappointed that so many of these things should have been fixed before closing. The bottom line, we are still very happy to have a new home in the villages, and that the builder does everything they can to fix any problems quickly and at their expense.
If we gave you some useful information, please consider subscribing to our channel if you haven't yet, and give us a thumbs up if you liked this video. Let us know what kind of issues you had with your new home in the villages in the comments below. Watch this video next, where we show you 3 quick upgrades we made to our home as soon as we moved in. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the flip side.
You seem to